Greetings and welcome to another session of Meet a CHM Family Member. My name is Cory MacDonald. I am the Engagement Director with the Choroideremia Research Foundation. And tonight I have a fun guest. He is a dear friend, not only a brother in blindness, but a brother in baldness. I'd like you all to meet Tod Purvis. How you doing tonight, Tod?
Hey, Cory, how are you?
I am doing great, man. I'm so psyched that you're here. Full disclosure, Tod is also our video editor, so he will be editing himself tonight. This could be fun.
It's gonna be a challenge.
You'll do fine. You'll do fine. So, Tod, let's get to a little background here. So now you're from LA. Where were you from originally?
My dad was in the Army, so I was born in Tracy, California. Then we moved to Texas, and then we moved to Germany, and then we moved to Louisiana, and then my parents moved to England and Hawaii, and I stayed in California. So I'm from everywhere, but I've been in California now since 1990.
Okay.
So it's pretty much the longest place I've ever lived.
Yeah, I've been pretty much in one state my whole life. You were officially diagnosed back in 2008, but when did you first start seeing signs of CHM?
I think I started noticing stuff probably in the early 2000s, but it was basically night blindness, night vision issues, where I'd be doing something in the dark and I couldn't see. Like at one point I was doing a play and I was backstage and somebody reached out their hand to shake my hand, and my friend was standing next to me and he said, "He's not being a jerk, he just can't see your hand." And that's when I kind of noticed the night blindness issues. And we knew my brother was diagnosed when he was 14. So we knew he had it. So we pretty much assumed I had it. It just took me a while to actually go to UCLA and get the test done.
Being old, I got to put on my cheaters here so I can read the questions. So now, how has CHM personally affected you?
It's personally affected me the biggest effect I've had recently in the last year was I stopped driving. Actually stopped driving probably about a month before COVID started. And that's the biggest effect. That's the biggest negative effect. Other than that, besides the usual, I can't see something or I can't find something, it's not that bad. I mean, I did actually, one of the pros of it was I was able to make a film about it, about my brother and I, that we did, that I would not have done if I wasn't going blind from CHM. So,
what adjustments have you made in your life to deal with CHM, adaptive technologies, anything like that you're currently using or planning on using?
I do use a cane when I go out. And I wanted to show this cane. I actually have 3 canes, but this one cane right here, I love because if you actually, it lights up.
That's cool.
I've used it a few times, and it it helps obviously bring attention to you.
Now, if we could get that light strobe, that would just be cool.
Disco cane.
Great. Now, have you attended any CRF conferences? And if so, what was your favorite part of being at the conference?
I have. I've attended one, and it was and only because there's not many on the West Coast, but I think we went to the one in Seattle, which is 2008 or 2009.
Yeah, 2010
was the one that. So my brother and I went to that one, and 2 things I remember about it is the first thing I remember is like meeting everybody else, and finally having the, I guess, camaraderie that you'd have with other people who know what it's like to be hit by a parked car and know what it's like to just trip over nothing and stuff like that. And one of the other things I remember is that at one point, that one of the first Saturday, there was a luncheon that everybody was invited to at a restaurant. And we all marched down there. There's all these blindies walking down to the restaurant. And we get there, and my brother and I are sitting down. And we realized at that point that it was a buffet. And we're just sitting there going, it's a buffet for blind people. What? And we just thought that was the funniest thing, but everybody just kind of adapted and went with it. And, we're getting eaten and stuff like that. So I remember it being mostly a bonding experience for people who have something that you have that no one else has.
When I speak to people who are coming to their first conference, and sometimes they'll call me or email me or something, and a lot of people they're very nervous before they go to a conference because many times they've never met anybody else with CHM. And I've always told them the same thing, which is you're coming to a family reunion. You just haven't met the family members yet.
100% true. Yeah.
And that's one of the things I've always appreciated about our conferences is the fact that, yes, we get the research updates. Yes, there's serious topics, but it's all taken in a very relaxed and fun way. And it's a family reunion,
right?
With research updates. So
yeah.
How do you feel about what is going on with current CHM research?
I actually just got requested to do a survey through Biogen, actually, through about living with choroideremia, and it's basically just fill out this form. So I'm really positive on the research that's happening, and if it's not done soon enough for me, maybe the next kid.
Yeah, that was kind of the mindset I remember when, myself and my cousin Bobby and John Oster from New York, and when we formed the CRF, that was our mindset was, we know this takes a long time, it takes a lot of money, and we're starting from nothing.
Right.
But let's get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's going to be the next generation. And so to see where we are now, and like you, I wish it would happen faster. But gosh, going from nothing to where we are in 20 years.
Right. Amazing. That's amazing.
So onto some kind of fun things. Now you have some pretty interesting, and considering the fact that you're, low vision, you're into film editing and filmmaking and photography and art. And it's like, these are all seem to be, people would consider them, quote unquote, visual mediums, and you work as a film editor, and to me that's just amazing. And how do you do it? It's just cool.
I'd like to say I use my sense of smell to edit, but it's just eyes. It's all central vision, so I got it all right there. So I fell into this occupation I have 20 years ago. And luckily with computers and applications and programs, I can still do it. And I actually don't do much. I mean, like the big secret is I can see the computer. I can see you. I can see what's on my screen. I got to make my mouse arrow really gigantic to help me out. But other than that, I can still do computer work.
And speaking of filmmaking, and we'll circle back to you and your brother decided to take a little bit of a road trip that ended up becoming a really cool movie, and called Driving Blind. And I'll let you get into more details on it in a second, but just a quick question. How long did that trip take? Because you went all the way around.
We filmed it and shot it in 2010, 33 days, and we hit 38 states around the country. And we had a film crew of 3 guys filming us. We did it, and some points it was scary, some points it was amazing, some points it was emotional. We actually met Art Man in New Orleans. I hung out with him. We met E.J. Scott in Chicago, hung out with him. And so it was just an amazing trip to do. I mean, it had started as just being a trip that he and I would do just for fun. And then we were like, well, let's film it. So we're thinking, oh, let's get little cameras to film it. And then I'm like, I work in LA, I work in TV and film. Maybe we can find a guy. And we found a guy and his 2 best friends, and they said, we'll do it. And we shot it. It was amazing. It's been a very great experience to do. So
that is awesome. And I just, I'm just sitting here saying to myself, I have a couple of brothers, and I don't know if I could do that long of a time.
I'm not saying every
Not
moment
one of
was
us
perfect.
killing the other.
Yeah, I'm not saying death threats didn't flow at certain points, but we both are still alive. So, and no police. Oh no, there was a sheriff's deputy that was called at one point. But other than that, we survived. No one's dead.
Nobody got arrested.
Yeah, no one got arrested.
That is awesome. But having seen the movie, you know, it was cool. It was really cool virtually riding around the country with you and you know, vicariously sharing your experiences.
Right.
I had plans for us, man. I was gonna
sequel.
oh yeah, because you know, I just want you to picture this in your brain now. Me, you, and Justin at the Basketball Hall of Fame shooting hoops or trying.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? It's going to be a 10 years later sequel. It's going to be an anniversary edition, special edition DVD thing, because that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, they have a really neat. It's a neat display. It's actually it's a full-size basketball court, and there's kind of a wall ringed around at about 10 feet off the ground, and it's the evolution of the basketball hoop. So starting with the original peach basket up to the modern day NBA.
Wow.
Hoops and backboards, and there's basketballs there, and you can shoot hoops.
That's pretty cool.
It is neat.
All right. We're making a plan then.
That's right.
At some point,
we can do this.
We're going. Yeah.
Not like any of us will ever hit the basket, but we can.
Oh, no. It's just, you got to try.
Exactly.
And then I'll fix it in post. We'll make every shot.
Yeah, we'll just bring somebody there with us that actually knows how to play the game, and we'll.
Yeah. I'm going to shoot it, but you're really going to shoot it. There, we got it.
Yeah.
It's the magic of TV.
What does the CRF mean to you, and how has the CRF impacted your life?
I think what the CRF means to me is hope. And like I said earlier, the fellowship. It's people who are going through the same thing that you are, that no one else is ever going to understand, no matter how you try to explain how you see, how you try to explain how your eyes are working, or if it's a good day or a bad day. It's almost impossible to express that unless you're in it. And I think that's what the CRF gives to me, is just people who 100% know what you're going through.
And what advice would you give to like a younger CHM or even a younger Tod Purvis when it comes to living with CHM?
I think, and having worked on these videos, I hear everybody's answer to this question. And they're all great answers. They're all 100%. And I want to take their answers and just say, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to do stuff on your own, because the alternative is just giving up, and no one should give up. There's going to be challenges every day, but you can do it.
Any last words?
I would like to share the story, the reason why I stopped driving.
Mm-hmm.
It was about February last year, maybe January. This is before COVID, so we went to Panda Express, which is fast food. But anyways, and I remember going in there, and it was noon, and Panda Express, like all fast food, like one side is all windows, so it's super bright outside, and the floor is dark red. So I walk in with my buddy, and I wasn't using my cane at that point because I was driving still. So that kind of makes it silly to have a cane and then you get in your truck and drive away. But I remember walking in, and I usually walk into a place, kind of look around and get where I'm at, see what's going on. And I remember looking to the right, and there was a soda machine with two guys working on it, and there was a black mat and a pile of something on the mat. So I remember going to the line, getting my food, getting my cup, and I set my tray down, walked back to where the soda machine was. And I'm staring there, and I think the problem with choroideremia, the problem we can't explain, is that I couldn't process what I was seeing because of blind spots. So I'm sitting there staring at this floor, this pile of stuff on this mat. And I'm like, I don't understand what that is. So finally I'm like, it must be like a pile of rags that they've thrown into this mat to clean up a mess. So then I'm standing there and I start kind of tapping it with my foot, going, okay, how can I get around this pile of rags? So I'm tapping and tapping. And all of a sudden I see these two guys on the sides start kind of laughing. And I'm like, dude, what's up? And I'm tapping my foot. Finally, I see the pile of rags start laughing. It was a guy in full black overalls laying on the floor. And I was just kind of kicking him with my foot in his foot. And finally I went, oh, I'm sorry, guys. I can't see. Can I have some Diet Coke? And then I finally went back and sat down. And that's right there when I just was like, I'm not going to drive anymore, because that was too weird and too obviously a sign that I should not be behind the wheel of a 3,000-pound piece of machinery. So,
yeah, absolutely. I could, and that's I've heard stories from other people about what made them stop driving in much worse circumstances.
Reach out if you need help. Family members, ask them if they want help, but don't force help on them, I think is a big thing. So yeah, maintaining independence is a very very big thing with a lot of CHMers, and it's a fine line. You have to, people do want to help, but at times it can be frustrating, and you want to tell them, I'm okay. I don't need help with this. And so it's, like I said, it's that fine line. How do you say that without offending them? Because they're just trying to help, so. Right. I mean, and I would tell CHMers is that it's going to be frustrating. It's going to make you angry, but try to realize that the person you're snapping at doesn't understand fully what you're dealing with. And that would be my final advice as I babble on. And I said I wasn't going to babble on because I got to cut it all out.
All right. Well, listen, Todd, I want to thank you. I want to thank you very much for joining us and giving us a little peek into your life and into who you are. And I hope everyone else enjoyed it. And we will see you at the next session. Have a great night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The grand adventure.
Yeah.
Driving blind. Two brothers faced with a rare genetic disease that causes blindness decide to take a journey of a lifetime and answer the question, what would you see if you knew you were going to go blind?
It honestly makes me feel so small, and like whatever problems I have are nothing.
What would you do?
You're supposed to smell it first.
Who would you meet?
This is an opportunity for us to connect with people.
No, I haven't seen you forever.
In a groundbreaking documentary that cuts to the heart of what it means to be a brother.
It blows my mind that 100 years ago, this is how people would have done this trip that we're doing. Yep.
And gain a world of vision while losing eyesight. Come along to be inspired and reminded of the very meaning of life through a 12,000-mile road trip. Driving blind. Coming soon.
Coming to America.